Right, now back to part 3. So let's click on plugins. And this time we're going to be talking about not IP cameras. So say things like the... oh, so it automatically brought it in via the IP camera for the Doorbird. That's interesting. Didn't realise that. Yeah, that was Doorbird. So that's useful to know. Anyway, back onto plugins. So yeah, so if you have any old IP camera and you know what the streams are, you can bring it in through the IP camera. So as you've just seen, that was news to me as well. Doorbird has been brought in directly. You can bring in Hikvisions, Dahua, etc. Bring them all in via IP. However, I've got Unify Protect, which is a separate plugin, and I can just bring these in directly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Add. Now what we need is make sure that the Protect controller has got a static IP as usual. And we have created an account on the Unify admin console, which I've already done. And then all the cameras have got static IPs. So anonymous snapshot enabled on camera settings. Right, I need to do that part, which I haven't done. So give me a few seconds and I will do that now. Okay, so let me go back onto the plugins. And so what I was going to do, as I've done all mine, however, what I'm going to do is it's a little bit complicated. Well, not complicated. There are some good instructions here, but it's always just have a good read of this instead. So basically, it gives you a full breakdown on how to, first of all, set up the admin, secondary admin, how to... It's already under DHCP anyway, and how to create all the extra stuff that you need for each camera, and how to enable the anonymous snapshot as well. So just follow this because you need to get some codes from your UDM system to be able to do that. So what I've done is I've gone through this and I've actually then put all the cameras into all the fixed IPs, etc. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to go to the next stage. Okay, so let me get out of that, and now we're going to put the IP addresses in. So for me it's 10.01.1, so that's the address of my UDM Pro. So I have all my stuff built into the system, and then I've just got to put in my username and password. So click on next. I'm just going to save that sort of up. So now so the SSL has been added to the bridge. Now please reboot and then continue with the setup. So now what we're going to do is we're going to reboot the bridge and click on yes. So what we'll do is it's going to take a couple of minutes for this to reboot. So I'm going to pause it and then we'll come back so you don't have to wait that long. Okay, so now that's all done. So let's go back onto plugins. And let me go back onto Unify Protect. Now, because we had that message to say about the SSL certificate needed to be added, so it actually does that in 2 stages. So now that we've rebooted, we have to really just go back in and do exactly the same again and actually log back in. So click on Protect, Add, and then again type in the same details that we did earlier on. So I can just put that in there and click on Next. And now all these cameras were discovered automatically. So the first time I did that, it brought in the security certificates, and now the second time it's actually brought in all these cameras with all the IP addresses and everything. So if I click on Next, and it should give me some ID numbers and things like that. So as we saw from the document, it adds 3 items per camera. We've got the camera image, we then got the motion detection, so effectively a motion sensor, and then you've got the third one, which allows you to amend the recording type of the camera. I'm not going to play with that. I'm just going to leave it. I've already set my motion detections and areas and everything like that set up, so I'm going to actually leave that as it is right now. For now, I'm not going to play with that. So, but if you wanted to change from motion to permanent, you could actually do that quickly from the home center instead of logging in to the UDM. So like, just gotta wait now. Basically, I've got 9 cameras to add, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 cameras to add. So let's just wait and give it a bit of time, and then I'll come back to you again. So it's probably gonna take a little bit of time because there's 9 lots of 3, so that's 27 different things to add. Typical, I just paused it and now it came up. So here is the list. So devices, and then the different cameras with the different device IDs for each one has all been added here. So now I'm going to click on OK, and then I'm going to go over to the home center so we can have a look at everything. Okay, so clicked on OK for that. And then these are all the cameras that have been added, and with a different motion ID and things like that. And just go back to the plugins page. So that is now ready. And now if I go onto Home Center and go back to the top, and there they are, all the different cameras, IDs, and what each item does. So, and the motion detection that goes with each one. So this one says never breached, so I'll probably send one of the kids out to take a look and see if they can breach one of the cameras. So now what we can do is typically whatever we wanted to do with the setting, you know, like we normally do with camera detection. So I can set up things like send pictures to emails and send hopefully I'll start again. We can then, when send a picture to email addresses as an email, and if I can get the streams correct, I should be able to do like an interactive push notification. But I need to work on that and get the correct URLs and FTP stuff sorted out for that, because the images have to be stored on a server. So once I work that out, then we can actually have an interactive system, an interactive push notification system. So here's a camera. So for example, that one, picture of the back door, and then this one shows recording mode connected for detections. So we can actually switch that to always permanent record, I don't want to do, or never, stop recording, or leave it on detection. So I'm leaving it as detection, so it's something that I'm not going to touch. And then finally, motion. At the moment, no motion detected, therefore not breached, and therefore we'll have nothing to show for it on here. So it's nice and quiet here, so we'll leave that as it is. So hopefully when I do my next video on the next section of this plugin video will be the harmony system. We'll come and take a look at that again and see if any motion has been detected. And that's it really. There's not much else to it. So we can actually then use this data and bring it in, hopefully, into our software, such as the home remote or HomeKit and things like that, to be able to then display on tablets and things like that. And just to confirm, I'm now going to just double check the Home's UB app. So I've downloaded the latest one, and I'm going to see if it actually appears in here, as well as I'm going to see if it appears in the other one, in the old version, the old Unibuy app. So we've got systems. I've got 33 devices, and it's picked up all the motion sensors. And in the multimedia section, it's picked up that. In others, and it has picked up inside garage cam, so that's that one. So in the rooms it hasn't picked up the cameras, but if I then click on more and click on, let's have a look, temperature, energy, cameras, it's picked up all the cameras and they're now appearing on my app, and they appear on the app so I can see everything perfectly clearly on here as well. So I would assume that the original UB app, if you then click on at the bottom right hand corner, click on more and then click on surveillance, and it will actually show up in there for you as well. All the cameras fully integrated via your home center. Right, keep tuned and I'll get to the next section in a couple of minutes. Right, and welcome back to the final part of the plugins system videos. So what we're going to do on this one is harmony. So go back onto the automation bridge, and what I recommend you guys do first before you do this harmony system plugin is make sure that you have got all your active devices and activities sorted on your remote controls. So what I've done is all my remotes have all the devices that I needed to have. I have removed the stuff I don't need. I've updated the activities and made sure all the activities are working properly. And the reason being is that what happens is if you make a change on anything and then or you create a new one, it doesn't actually delete the old one off the plugins unless you remove it completely and re-add it. So then you have to manually remove it. So I recommend just making sure your harmony and everything is up to date. Later on you can make an addition, it's not an issue. Adding activities it just works straight away. It's when you want to, if you removed one and then want to add a different one, it'll keep the old one in the Home Center 3 memory, so you have to manually remove it. Okay, so go on to harmony, and then what we're going to do, the harmony hub has been added and we just need to reboot. So let's just click on reboot. Again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this video and we'll come back to it in a couple of minutes when it's fully rebooted. Right, now that we're rebooted, if I go back onto the plugins and we go back to harmony, click on settings, it will now should have found oh, I need to enable the, actually I've already done that, so let me just double check that it's actually been done. Oh, I know why it's not been done. I know why. Again, what I was telling about earlier on when we were looking at the others is to make sure that the everything's on the same subnet. So this is the same issue we had with the Sonos. So I forgot my harmonies are actually on the main subnet rather than the smart home subnet. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change all my IP settings of the harmonies and bring them onto the subnet for the smart home system. Okay, so bear with me. Once I've done that, then I will be able to access it. But actually, this is a good thing that this has come up, because you need to make sure that you've done this on your, right, it doesn't show it anymore, so I might have to talk you through this instead. So what you have to do is on your Harmony app, so you click on your Harmony app. In fact, what I'll do is I'll do it the other way. I'll actually video it. So give me a second. I'm going to pause it and I'm going to start recording my phone. Right, here's my Harmony app. So I'm just going to click on a Harmony in a hub. So I've got 4 hubs in the house. And then I'm going to click on settings. And I need to then click on edit. No, not edit. Harmony setup. Edit. Add or edit, that's it. Add or edit entries. and then if I remember correctly, it's remote and hub, and then here developer options and XMPP, and mine's enabled, so I'm not going to disable it, and you need to make sure you enable it, and that's what you need to do. You have to repeat that process on all your hubs. So once you've done that on all your hubs, then that's it, and then we can go back to the automation bridge and give it a reboot. So before I do that, I'm going to just sort the IPs out, and then I'm going to reboot it. Okay, so I'll go back to that, and then next time you'll see me on the computer. Right, I have now done the IP updates, and I've also rebooted it. So if I now click on plugins and go back to the Harmony plugin, you can see that it's now recognized all 4 hubs that I've got. So now all I have to do now is click on sync activities, and what it'll do, it'll pull all 4 hubs and bring back the activities and create them for me and then transfer them into the home center. So in real world terms, what does that mean? It means that I can now initiate activities from the home center 3. So here they are. I can also use these as a trigger to do automations based on whichever activity I press. So for example, classic one I use is the cinema one. So when I'm in the cinema room and I press watch, say Cody or Sky or whatever, or the kids play the Nintendo game, then it will automatically, as well as turning on all the media equipment, which it would normally do under Harmony, it would also say things like close the curtains and turn on the lights at low levels and things like that, ready to watch the movies or play games or whatever. Okay, so that's really about it for the what do you call it? So that's about it for all the plugins. So there are a lot more plugins are available on this. Okay, but these are the plugins that I use the most, and it's one that's most common for all of us. So things like the Doorbird, the Harmony, IP cameras, Unify Protect. If you've got Philips Hue, we can also add in Philips Hue, but the home center does actually have a built-in Philips Hue, built-in Zigbee, and the Philips Hue stuff is actually compatible, so you're better off doing it direct. However, I have come across some issues with certain bulbs, so sometimes it's actually better through Philips Hue, but that's through trial and error. And Sonos, like I said, I can't do Sonos right now because of the network, and then because I want to control it with my mobile, I don't want to keep switching networks, so hence why I've kept Sonos using the other method with the bridge, Sonos bridge instead, which is on a previous video if you look through my stuff. That's really about it. So if you have any more questions or anything like that, feel free to message me, give me a call, and what I'll do is I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that bell icon so you'll know when my new video is out. Bye for now. Sorry, fun thing I forgot is I forgot to show you it in the home center. So here are the items in the home center, exactly what was in the bridge. So it's just a case of clicking on these to turn them on. The activity turns on, or if you use the Harmony remote, it actually comes up as green when I'm running that activity. So now it's bye for now.